magnificent warriors of truth and light. Rise up in this moment for your spirit, for your strength, for your justice. You feel that inkling of betrayal burning in your chest, that whispered conspiracy you sensed but couldn't yet name. You see them, smiling, charming, weaving illusions, planting seeds of doubt, delegating a narcissist as their weapon to wound your name, to distort your story. Their master plan to use a narcissist against you? It was precise, it was cold, it was calculated. They thought they held the strings. They believed you'd bend, they'd expect you to fall. But something broke. The line snapped. Their plan exploded in their faces. This wasn't supposed to happen. Listen close now, for this is your moment to feel the tremor of reversal, the surge of reckoning. You have watched them set their pieces in motion. The narcissist who charms without sincerity, the gossip that spreads like wildfire in dry brush, the alliances forged in shadow. You have felt the weight of eyes on you, the whispers just beyond threshold, the way your words are twisted. Their master plan meant to isolate you, to undermine you, to convince you that you are small, broken, expendable. But they miscalculated. You see, when someone uses a narcissist as their instrument, they expect the loud voice, the chaos, the show. They expect confusion and division. They count on your hesitation, your self-doubt. They think that the narcissist's mask of confidence will crush your quiet strength. They assume you'd be swallowed by doubt. They plan, schemed, maneuvered behind your back, orchestrated betrayals, set traps. But you, yes you, are not so easily broken. Something within you refused their lines. Something deep inside you recognized their patterns, recognized the echo of manipulation. You felt the pull of their twisted loyalty games, the way the narcissist twisted your words, perhaps even convinced others you were angry, unstable. They thought you'd be torn, that your voice would be drowned. And then it happened. Their plan exploded in their faces. The narcissist turned unpredictable. They betrayed their handlers, exposed secrets meant to be hidden. Their own lies came back like boomerangs, hitting their faces. The gossip turned back on the originators. The alliances collapsed under the weight of exposure. The mask cracked. The narcissist whom they thought to use became a liability. You watch as their design unravels. You didn't orchestrate it. You didn't instigate it. They triggered it themselves. Because a narcissist's loyalty is only as strong as what they see they can gain. But once they see risk, once the foundations of secrecy shift, they reveal themselves, expose themselves. Now you stand in the rising light of something fierce. Not revenge. No, there's no poison here, but a justice of truth, a redemption in knowledge, a triumph in seeing. Feel it. The relief of truth being revealed, the purge of lies washing out, the cleansing fire that burns what must burn. You see their faces, betrayed by their own cunning, their master plan, meant to use you, to bury you, to fracture you, collapses. The walls they built crumble from within. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to reclaim your name. You are allowed to call back your energy. Their attempt to smear, to manipulate, to control, they cannot contain your spirit. They cannot erode the part of you that knows, the part that feels, that senses, that guards itself wisely. Yes, the narcissist was their weapon. But weapons always have a trigger, and sometimes the trigger is unseen until it fires back. Their hands were on the lever, but the lever snapped under tension. The trajectory changed. The bullet they aimed at you ricocheted. Their design exploded. This is your awakening. Let their faces show the horror of exposure. Let their mouths taste the bitter air of their unraveling. Let their own labyrinth of schemes collapse. Corridors of deceit spinning inward until darkness consumes them. You will carry scars, yes. You will carry memories of deceit, of anxiety, of moments you doubted yourself. But those scars are not weak points. They are sigils, proof you survived, evidence you are unbreakable. You are not defined by their betrayal. You are defined by your rise. From this devastation you gather your strength. You draw power from their misfires. Every lie exposed strengthens your truth. Every betrayal redirected affirms your sovereignty. Stand tall in the ruins of their scheme. Let them see you stand. Let them know you see them, you understand them. Let them know their plan is undone. You are no victim, not now, not ever. You are the voice of integrity, the breath of authenticity, the anchor of your own narrative. Let the wound heal with wisdom. Let the heartbreak fuel clarity. Let the shock be the spark of your rebirth. Remind yourself, those who fear your truth will cloak themselves in manipulation. They will choose proxies, narcissists whose loyalty is shallow to do dirty work. They will expect you to wilt. They will expect you to silence yourself. But you smashed those expectations because you refused to be silent, because their narcissist mirror cracked, because the lie forked into too many branches, because one truth exposed multiplies into many. This was supposed to happen. They might have thought as they plotted. You will fall. You will be alone. You will be discredited. But this wasn't supposed to happen. You standing in strength. You speaking with clarity. You refusing their distortion. And now they tremble. Now they scramble. Now their power reveals itself as hollow. You have exploded the narrative they tried to build. You have taken back the mic. You have refused the role of victim. You deserve peace. You deserve restoration. You deserve the calm after the storm, the clarity after fog. Do not look back with bitterness. Use the past as fuel, not as chains. Do not obsess over revenge. Justice is found in living well, in truth, in compassion, in aligned purpose. You may have lost things, trust, comfort, disbelief in what betrayal looks like, but you have gained vision, courage, resilience. Let this be your declaration. I will not be manipulated. I will not be silenced. I will not allow my narrative to be stolen. I will speak truth. I will stand in integrity. I will heal. Their master plan tried to chill your flame, to dim your light. But light cannot be extinguished by shadows. Shadows exist only in contrast. The brighter your essence, the more evident their deceit. So walk forward now with your head high. Let every stone they threw at you become a stepping stone. Let the pain refine you. Let the exposure free you. They believed the narcissist was their instrument. They believed that their scheme was safe, locked away. But here you are, wholer, stronger, clearer. Their plan exploded. This moment belongs to you. Let their shock be your affirmation. Let their exposure be your victory. You are reclaiming what is yours, your dignity, your voice, your truth. Rise, not defeated, not diminished, unbroken. Because when a plan built on lies meets one soul built on integrity, integrity always wins. Remember this, their master plan to use a narcissist against you exploded in their faces, and this was never supposed to happen. Yet here you stand, victorious, radiant, free. You said, continue. ChatGPT said, and now, in the silence that follows their collapse, in the aftermath of their shattered scheme, you hear something powerful, your own heartbeat rising like a war drum, steady and unshakable. It no longer races with fear or confusion. It speaks now of purpose, of arrival, of a chapter that is wholly yours to write. The ones who believed they could orchestrate your downfall are now the architects of their own undoing. This reversal, this unexpected twist, it wasn't a coincidence, it was consequence. It was the natural recoil of a universe that does not bend to manipulation forever. They placed all their bets on the wrong currency. Lies, vanity, control. They built their empire on sand, pretending it was stone, trusting the narcissist to be the storm that would tear you apart. But they never understood that the real storm was you. Quiet at first, yes, measured, observant, underestimated, but growing, learning, watching, absorbing. And when it was time, your truth roared louder than any of their illusions. They weren't prepared for a truth that didn't back down. They weren't prepared for a soul that refused to stay in the dark. They weren't prepared for your inner fire to burn past their plans. This wasn't supposed to happen. They didn't plan for resilience. They didn't expect someone who wouldn't break, who wouldn't fold, who wouldn't join the game. Because to people like them, everything is a game. Every interaction, every relationship, every alliance. It's all a power play. But you don't play their games. You live truth. You breathe authenticity. And that's why they failed. What they misunderstood, what they could never grasp, is that there is a different kind of power. One that isn't loud or self-serving. One that doesn't need to dominate or deceive. The power of presence, the power of self-awareness, the power of someone who's done the inner work, who knows their worth, who doesn't have to manipulate others to stand tall. They used a narcissist against you because they thought charm would overpower character. They thought drama would distract from truth. They thought the mask would fool everyone. And maybe, for a while, it did. But masks crack. And when they do, the ones behind them are left exposed, naked in their lies, fragile in their arrogance. Now those same people who whispered in shadows, who stirred up storms behind closed doors, are forced to face the reality of what they've done. Their perfect narrative, destroyed. Their scapegoat plan, reversed. The narcissist they unleashed, out of control, turning on them, revealing truth. They never wanted spoken. They couldn't contain the chaos they created. But you stayed rooted. You stayed steady. You didn't fall for the traps. Even when it hurt, even when it broke you open, you bled, but you never surrendered. You bent, but you did not break. And that is something no one can ever take from you. Let them talk. Let them scramble. Let them try to rewrite the story now that the truth is out. None of it matters anymore. Because the truth doesn't need permission. It doesn't need validation. It simply stands. And you stand with it. Do you feel that? That breath in your lungs? That peace that's starting to come back? That's the space where freedom begins. That's the weight lifting from your shoulders. That's the universe showing you. You were never the problem. You were simply the threat to their illusion. They thought they had the upper hand. They thought they were clever. But what's clever without wisdom? What's strategy without soul? They failed to see the one thing that matters most, your spirit, unshakable, undeniable, unrepeatable. And now, while they sit in the wreckage of their plans, unsure of how it all fell apart, you rise, not with vengeance, not with gloating, but with purpose, with peace, with a quiet strength that doesn't need to scream to be heard. Because your power was never in proving them wrong. Your power was always in staying right with yourself. Let them feel the weight of what they've lost, not because you wish them harm, but because actions have consequences. And their consequence was underestimating someone who was forged in pain, refined in truth, and anchored in inner knowing. You walked through their storm. You survived the narcissist's chaos. You faced the manipulation, the mind games, the projections. And still, you remained you, whole, honest, awake. That's your victory. That's your crown. No one gave it to you. You earned it. So now you walk forward, not bitter, not hardened, but wiser, sharper, more compassionate with yourself. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to explain the whole story. Those who see you will know. And those who don't were never meant to. What they built was a weapon. What you became was a warrior. And warriors are not born in peace. They are forged in trials. They are shaped in silence, grown in shadows, and revealed in light. This, right here, is your revealing. Don't dim yourself for anyone. Don't downplay your journey. Don't shrink. to make others comfortable with your power. You didn't just survive what they threw at you. You transcended it. You evolved because of it. You've become more of who you really are, not despite the betrayal, but through it. Let the world see what real strength looks like. Not the kind that dominates others, but the kind that overcomes every attempt to dim its flame. This wasn't supposed to happen. Remember? You weren't supposed to rise. You weren't supposed to heal. You weren't supposed to learn their tactics, decode their games, unmask the narcissist, and walk out clean. But here you are, a miracle they couldn't stop, a light they couldn't extinguish, a force they will never understand. Their plan, destroyed. Your spirit, unstoppable. And this is only the beginning. You kept walking even when your feet were bleeding, even when your mind was tired, even when your heart was shattered into pieces too small to name. You moved through the confusion, through the gaslighting, through the nights when you questioned everything, including your own sanity. And somehow you made it here, to this moment where clarity pierces like lightning and silence no longer means weakness. You didn't just endure, you saw. You saw through the fog they created. You found the pattern in their chaos. You deciphered the game that was never about you at all, but about control, about dominance, about fear. They needed a narcissist to do their work for them because they could never confront you head-on. Why? Because even in your quietness, even in your soft-spoken grace, you were intimidating. Not because you raised your voice, but because you carry a presence they can't manipulate. They used the narcissist as a veil, a smokescreen, hoping their own hands would stay clean while someone else did their dirty work. But nothing stays hidden forever. When a narcissist is given control, they don't just attack their target, they attack everything. And eventually, they turn on the very ones who fed them. You didn't fight fire with fire. You fought with silence, with truth, with boundaries, and that's why you won. Not by playing their game, but by choosing never to participate in it. They underestimated the strength of stillness. They underestimated the intelligence of observation. They underestimated the resilience of a soul that refuses to be puppeted. And now, the same narcissist they unleashed has fractured their circle, revealed their secrets, made their intentions clear. The lies they spread were never stable, and now they're collapsing. Fast, loud, publicly. You've stepped back. You've distanced yourself. And from that distance, you're watching it all come undone. The energy they used to keep the mask on is gone. The manipulation has turned inward. They're devouring themselves, scrambling for control that no longer exists. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to explain. Your silence is doing the speaking. Your detachment is the final word. Let that sink in. Your absence is louder than their noise, because you never needed to defend yourself when the truth was on your side. The people who matter will see it. The ones who were lost in the fog are waking up. Slowly, maybe painfully. But they're waking up, and when they do, they'll remember who stood firm, who stayed quiet, who didn't stoop low, who didn't fight dirty. You. You were the one who knew your worth without needing to scream it. And now you know what they tried to take from you they never truly had. Your power, your clarity, your peace. It was always yours. They couldn't steal it. They could only distract you from it for a time. And that time has ended. No more questioning your instincts. No more doubting your voice. No more waiting for them to validate your story. You know what happened. You know what they did. You know how you survived. And most importantly, you know who you are. This was supposed to break you. This was supposed to isolate you. This was supposed to make you shrink. But instead, it woke something up, something ancient, something sacred, something unstoppable. You're not just surviving. You're remembering your essence, your truth, your divine resilience. You're reclaiming parts of yourself that were buried beneath years of manipulation. You're stepping into the space they tried to keep you from. The space where your voice is clear, your path is clean, your purpose is untouchable. There's no need to seek revenge. There's no need to expose them. The narcissist has already done that. The chaos they unleashed became the weapon that turned against them. You didn't need to win the war. They lost it by underestimating what truth can do over time. Time, that's your ally now. Healing, that's your revolution. And trust, real trust, will return. Not because they suddenly changed, but because you now see clearly. You now know who deserves your energy, who earns access to your spirit. You've learned to spot the masks early, to hear the manipulation in soft tones, to feel the chill of cold intentions hiding behind fake warmth. They created this fire and now they can't put it out. You're walking away from the wreckage, not broken, not bitter, but transformed. And they'll have to live with the knowledge that their greatest effort to destroy you only made you stronger. That's the truth they'll carry. That's the mirror they'll face every time your name is mentioned. That's the echo that will haunt their silence long after the noise has faded. You are living proof that no amount of manipulation can bury a soul rooted in truth. No narcissist can hold power over someone who's awakened, and no master plan, no matter how clever, can defeat a person whose strength comes from within. So let this be your turning point. Not just away from the betrayal, but toward your future, toward your clarity, toward the life they tried to keep you from. This is where you take your power back, not in anger, not in fear, but in quiet confidence, in divine alignment. You are not fragile, you are not naive, you are not broken, you are awake, you are aware, you are walking in purpose, and nothing, not their plans, not their projections, not their narcissists' manipulations, can take that from you. They wanted you erased, but now you're more visible than ever. They wanted you silenced, but now, even in your quiet, your presence is thunder. They wanted you destroyed, but you rose. And now they have to face the reality they never prepared for. You survived the very storm they created, and became the storm they can't escape. So let them sit in the silence they created, surrounded by the wreckage of their own deception, watching the illusion shatter piece by piece. Let them feel the gravity of every lie spoken, every game played, every alliance built on ego and control. Because now the truth doesn't just live, it walks, it breathes, it speaks through you. You were never the victim they painted, you were the mirror they couldn't face. And now, they face themselves. The narcissist was supposed to break you, but it was their reflection that couldn't survive the light of exposure. This wasn't supposed to happen, but it did, and it changed everything. You walk forward now with no weight on your shoulders, no shame in your soul, and no need to explain. Let your silence speak louder than their noise. Let your peace disturb their chaos, because the plan that was designed to destroy you became the very fire that forged you.